Let me tell you something. When someone tells you community means taking your land, you better start keeping receipts. That's exactly what I learned the hard way. And if you've ever had a run-in with power-happy folks in a homeowners association, well, this one's for you. So picture this. I'm Elias, just a regular guy, stubborn enough to think a lakefront in Montana could actually stay peaceful. I've been working long, brutal days at the Hungry Horse Dam. Steel-toe boots, turbine noise drumming in my head, cold coffee in a thermos that tasted more like copper pipe than caffeine. All I wanted at the end of it was to turn off the world, drive those last twisting miles through the pines, and sit on my porch with my old red heeler, Rusty. I rolled down that hill, gravel popping under the tires, and bam, something's off. You know that feeling when the world shifts just enough to set your teeth on edge. I see it before my truck stops, a dock. 30 feet of fresh lumber stretching from my shoreline into the lake like someone just decided my backyard was public property. That thing wasn't there when I left. Didn't match the weathered wood of my own deck or the rocky slope where my boots always landed. Rusty's ears perked up. Even the dog knew it stunk. I park, step into that cold, clean air, and it's not calming, not this time. Every breath feels like a dare. I walk down through the frosted grass, boots crunching, heart thumping. The dock's new, really new. Planks tight, bold still silver footprints in the soil. Not my boots, someone else's. A crew. Didn't call, didn't ask. Just came and built like they owned it. Like nobody would say a word. And then, here she comes. Miranda Kessler. If you've never met an HOA president who thinks she's queen of the county, count yourself lucky. Blonde bob, sunglasses too big for her face, pink windbreaker straining at the seams. She's marching down the slope with a clipboard like she's got a warrant for my whole existence. "You're back early," she snaps. "No, how was your trip?" No smile. She stands there, grinning at the dock like she just gifted me a new truck. Beautiful, isn't it? Community dock. Board approved. We needed updated amenities. I just stare. "You built this on my land?" Without even calling. She waves a hand, like I'm being dramatic. "Oh, don't start, Elias. The community needs it. You weren't here. It's not anger I feel at first. It's disbelief. Miranda, you don't own this shoreline. My deed's older than your entire board." She doesn't blink. "If you touch a single board, you'll be fined for destruction of HOA property." That threat is her bread and butter. Years of bullying people who just want to go fishing in peace. That's what power does, you know? It likes to flex when it thinks you're outnumbered. Now, I've learned a thing or two in my years. How to pick my battles, how to breathe through the adrenaline when somebody tries to push you. "This isn't your land to build on," I say, as calm as I can. She tilts her chin. "Well, it is now. Refusal to cooperate will be handled through enforcement." Rusty growls at her, and honestly, I almost join in. I don't yell. I don't give her the show she wants. I just walk back to the cabin, but something heavy sits on my chest. This wasn't an accident. This was planned. By sunrise, my porch rail is covered with bright orange envelopes. 3 of them, fluttering in the wind. Violation notices. Obstruction of community asset. Unsafe shoreline conditions. Aggressive behavior toward HOA personnel. I laugh. Dry as a bone. Aggressive? I barely said a dozen words to Miranda, but her signature's on every one, bold as brass. Right then, an SUV creeps by, Willow Shore's Compliance Road Patrol, written on the door. Guy inside is snapping photos of me, my truck, my cabin. No wave, no hello. Just a camera and a notepad. You ever been made into the villain in your own home? That's what it feels like. I spread out my deed, the plat map, the survey. 10 feet into the lake, mine, all of it. Miranda either missed that or ignored it. This isn't carelessness anymore. This is a power move. A knock on the door. Mrs. Halpern, 2 doors down, wrapped in a cardigan, nervous as a bird. She says, "Miranda's been telling folks you threatened her. Said you raised your voice, got in her face." I didn't even step toward her. Mrs. Halpern just looks at her feet. "She made it sound like you're a danger to the community." Now I know I'm not just fighting for my land. I'm fighting for my name. I grab my folder, get in the truck with Rusty, and head straight to the county office. The clerk, sharp eyes, quick fingers, looks me up. No permits, she says. Not for me, not for the HOA, not for anybody. If it touches your land, it's trespass. If it disturbs shoreline vegetation, it's a state issue. She sees the boundary on my map, whistles low. They build it right into your private water zone. That's all I need. I file my report, official as can be. Home again, clouds rolling in. I walk out to the dock with my drill, crowbar, and a bucket of screws. Everything I need to take it apart piece by piece, legal as daylight. Rusty sits with me. Every bolt, every plank I keep. Document it all. Neighbors watch, curtains twitching. And there she is, Miranda, stomping down the slope. "What do you think you're doing?" she yells. "Cleaning up my shoreline," I say, not looking up. "You're destroying HOA property," she shrieks. I point to my survey flags. "All of this is on my land. My deed. Your board can't vote that away. You'll pay for this. Fines will be multiplied," she hisses. I keep working. She storms off, but she's not done. The next day, some guy in a compliance badge, cheap, crooked patch, tries to fine me $500 for unauthorized possession of HOA materials. I burn the notice in my fire pit. I gather every piece of evidence, deeds, photos, USB drive with camera footage, take it to the county courthouse. The zoning officer, Jasmine, sees it all. This isn't just an HOA problem. It's zoning, environmental, maybe criminal. She launches a full review. That's when the real fun starts. Anonymous notes under my door. Return the materials, apologize, don't escalate. Neighbors avoid my eyes. But word gets around faster than wildfire. A few days later, a tow truck pulls up, sent by the HOA to reclaim their property. I show him my documentation, sheriff's photos pinned on my garage wall. The guy wants no part of it, backs out before Rusty even gets a good growl in. But then things turn. Two real investigators show up, a county detective and a state auditor. "Your complaint triggered a deeper review," they say. "The HOA submitted forged documents, claimed my shoreline as community access, rerouted 30 grand to Miranda's sister." The doc was the cover story. They thought I'd be gone long enough for them to pull it off. Now the county's involved, state's involved, and suddenly neighbors who never looked my way before knocking on my door. Henry, retired judge, brings me a six-pack and says, "There's going to be a reckoning, Elias." He's right. That night, neighbors gather on my porch, anxious but ready. The next day, the whole community signs a petition, calls for an emergency meeting, a real vote. Then comes the morning. Patrol cars, state auditors, county deputies rolling up outside Miranda's place. She bursts out, shrieking about harassment and retaliation, but this time, nobody's buying it. They cuff her for fraud, conspiracy, falsification of public records. Board members try to slip out back doors, but the law's waiting for them too. Neighbors line the road, quiet, watching justice happen in real time. A news crew shows up, drone flying overhead, headline goes live. HOA president arrested for fraud, illegal dock construction. By noon, the state suspends the HOA's authority, launches a full audit. It's not loud celebration, more like a collective sigh. Some thank me, others just shake my hand. "You saved this community." I tell them, "I just stood my ground." Henry claps me on the shoulder. Justice always feels surreal when it lands. Next day, emergency meeting at the clubhouse. The old board is dissolved. Henry is named interim trustee. Somehow, my name comes up for the panel too. He's the only one who stood up, who has the evidence. I take the seat, not because I wanted it, but because sometimes the truth picks you. Later, I donate the dock lumber to a local vets program. They build access ramps for wounded anglers. "Just make sure it's built right," I say, and the volunteer grins. "Yes, sir." The air shifts. Neighbors laugh again. The lake glimmers, free and clear. For the first time, the stakes in the shoreline feel like markers of a win. Not just for me, but for everyone who stopped being afraid. And you know what sticks with me? It's never just about a dock, or a fine, or a patch of dirt. It's about standing up when someone tries to steal by intimidation. It's about showing that community means protecting each other, not bullying, not stealing, not hiding behind fake authority. So here's my question. What do you do when someone abuses their power in your backyard? Do you let it slide, or do you fight? Tell me in the comments if you've ever had to stand your ground. Because out here, sometimes, that's the only way justice finds its way home. And if you think land, dignity, and the truth are worth it, stick around. I've got more stories to share, because as you've seen, sometimes the only way to win is to never back down.